sing and to sing with people too. Now this song is, I gotta tell you about this album. Kahn is a very known name in the American folk labor movement. He's written songs like The Aragon Mill, which Fury stole and called it their own as Belfast Mill. Somebody didn't turn their phone off. And many other great songs, Kahn Gonna Rise Again. And when he was turning 80 last year, he said to me, or a year and a half ago, he says, you know, George, I'm going to turn 80, I can't perform or sing anymore. I wish there was a good labor folk singer out there who would make an album of my songs for my 80th birthday. Do you know anybody? He was joking, of course, but I didn't get the joke at first. Humor can be subtle, and it's not always easy to interpret, but he was talking to me, of course. And we started thinking about this and planning this album. It became the album called Labor Day. And I think there's exactly 2 copies left there on the table. I've got more back in Sydney for the last week of the festival, but it sells well because there are people like Billy Bragg on it, John McCutcheon, Odetta, Peggy Seeger, Tom Chapin, Laurie Lewis, Kahn, and me, of course. I produced the album. And what we did was we took 5 songs of size that had never been released, brought it through the magic of the studio, his guitar and vocals, great performances from years ago, and we then added all my great musicians from my studio in New York to it. And I did 5 songs also, and this is one of them. It's called They All Sang Bread and Roses. It's not the song Bread and Roses, which is the great American classic, but it's about people singing together. And there's 3 choruses, and hopefully you'll pick it up and join me and start singing along when it comes around. They all sang Bread and Roses, Joe Hill and Union Maine. That's the first line. It goes like this. It's such a lovely song. And the good news is Si's asked me to make another record with him next year that will be full of songs for the upcoming midterm elections. If you know what I mean. They all sang Bread and Roses. Now don't you think it's crazy, this old world and its ways? Whoever thought the 60s would be called the good old days? But like the weaver sang to us, wasn't that a time when the rain stopped hands and voices on the line? And we all sang Bread and Roses, Joe Hill, Union Maine. We linked our arms and told each other we are not afraid. Solidarity forever. We'll go rolling through the hall. We shall overcome together, one and all. The more I study history, the more I seem to find that in every generation there were times just like that time when folks like you and me who thought that they were all alone. In the summer movement found home, and they all sang Bread and Roses, Joe Hill, Union Maine. They linked their arms and told each other we are not afraid. Solidarity forever. We'll go rolling through the hall. We shall overcome together, one and all. And though each generation feels that it might be the last, our presence here is a witness to the power of the past. And just as we have drawn strength from those who now are gone, younger hands will take our work and carry on. And they'll all sing Bread and Roses, Joe Hill, Union Maine. They'll link their arms and tell each other we are not afraid. Solidarity forever. We'll go rolling through the hall. We shall overcome together, one and all. We shall overcome together, one and all. Thank you. I hope I have time for 2 more. I don't know if I'm here, but let me slip 2 more if I can. thank you again for being here. Thank you to Trent and Greg for doing all the work on the sound and all the wonderful volunteers to make, of course, you can't run a festival without people doing that, right? I learned that a long time ago. So I'd like to sing a song about Woody Guthrie when I wrote for one of my albums a couple of years ago called This Chain. And this is a story about Woody and then the impact of Woody Guthrie on people. Again, it's, sometimes you wake up and you're dreaming a song, and that's what happened here. I was dreaming this song as I was waking up one morning about a young man, or an older person, linking back to when he was little, and his brother and him. The dad used to come in and sing Woody Guthrie songs to them to tuck them in at night. And of course, as I started developing the story in my head, it was like, oh yeah, well, Dad was a good union man, of course, but his fortunes were up and down, and they shared the same bed because they weren't rich. And then I'm thinking, oh yeah, well, it's the 60s, well, that's when Woody Guthrie died. That should be in the song somehow. And it was the Vietnam era, and this should be in the song somehow. And then I realized I had to go to work in an hour and sing in a nursing home. So there was no way I was going to write it that morning. But I was lucky enough, 3 weeks later, I go to a place called the Luther every year. It's a fellowship for artists. It's a place where Woody Guthrie lived for 3 months on his last ramble, one of his last rambles, in an abandoned bus that's no longer there, but it was the property of his friend Stetson Kennedy's. And I've written many songs there over the years. I'm going to be there in February again. And so this song came out 3 weeks later in that magic of where Woody Guthrie had walked, and his paintings are on the wall, his letters, his hand-typed letters on a manual typewriter framed on the wall. And this is a song about the impact of Woody Guthrie's songs. I only wish that we could have that impact as songwriters, or even a shred of that impact. Called Tell Me About Woody Again. My brother, Jim was my hero. Follow wherever he led. Oh, there were 6 years between us. Still we share the same bed. Father, he was a good man. Those fortunes, they rose and fell. Almost night, took us the toughest in time. Sing the songs that he knew so well. There were hobos and youths, rockwood thieves, pictures of places that I've never seen, and we always sang this land, your land. We traded each verse to the end. And when we were done singing, Jimmy would cry, Dad, tell me about Woody again. And I remember 1967, so long ago it seems. I had just turned 11, Jimmy was still 17. And I remember the night when my father cried, when he came to tell us that Woody had died, and we sang those songs until his tears had dried. And then he kissed us goodnight. And when we sang this land, your land, we traded each verse to the end. When we were done singing, Jimmy had said, Dad, tell me about Woody again. Tell me about children would cry, Dad, tell me about Woody again. Tell me about Woody again.
Yeah, one more, man.
Thank you, man. Thank you so much. My name is George Mann. You can find me all over the internet, georgemannmusic.com. I've got albums in back of those young folks who are probably coming up to sing next, I assume. Yes, or maybe they are. And of course, you can find me on Facebook, George Mann, I live in New York. One more song from Kahn. A song I'd like to dedicate to all of you, even though I've only met most of you the first time, or some of you the first time. I want to sign, this is the song that closes the Labor Day album, and it's one of my favorites, and it's called People Like You. And it's dedicated especially to old fighters, those who fought for justice, those who fought against racism, those who fought for equal rights for all people, no matter who they love. That's the kind of society I want to live in, and I hope it's the society you want to live in too. Old fighter, you sure took it on the chin. Where'd you ever get the strength to stand? Never giving up or giving in. You know that I just want to shake your hand, because people like you help people like me go on, sing that. People like you help people like me go on. Oh, battle with a scar for every time. Thought you were no better than the rest. You wore your colors every way but down. All you ever gave us was your best. And you know that people like you help people like me go on. People like you help people like me go on. Old dreamer with the world in every thought. Where'd you get the vision to keep on? You sure get back as good as what you got. I hope that when my time is almost done, they'll say that people like me help people like you go on. Because people like you help people like me go on. People like you help people like me go on. People like you help people like me go on. Thank you very much. Hopefully down the road.